I've been coin collecting for nearly 50 years and I've been a coin dealer for 5, and I'm still learning some fascinating things about our US coinage. Like, for example, this coin. Hey collectors, thanks for watching. I'm the collector of coins, and that's right, as I said in the introduction, I'm still learning about this amazing hobby. In fact, very recently, one of my viewers, who happens to be a coin collector that I meet at a variety of coin shows, brought in 2 interesting examples similar to the piece that you see behind me. And he wanted me to show you these coins, and I'm going to talk to you about the fascinating history about the coins that were minted from silver that was brought to the Philadelphia Mint based on a tragic fire. Collectors, we have some very unique historical silver at the table. We have 2 US half dollars from 1864. The silver used in these half dollars was recovered from a fire of the Masonic jewels. I'll put some information in the description of this video below about this. But at the time, you could send in silver to the US Mint and they would mint coinage out of it. And then these were in turn engraved. These are absolutely stunning examples, very historical, representative of what was happening in country in 1864 when artifacts were damaged. They get reproduced as new historical items. I want to thank the collector who brought them in. He wanted us to show them to everyone watching. Our coins have fabulous history. So like I said, I didn't know anything about these coins until I saw them at the show, and I decided to do a little bit of research. So let me read to you what I found. All right, so the US Mint created what's called the Masonic Jewels coins, which are the ones that I just showed you, in 1864, from silver that was recovered after a fire destroyed the Masonic Temple in Boston on April 5th or 6th, I think it spanned those 2 days of that year. The fire melted ceremonial Masonic silver, known as Masonic jewels, which was used for regalia, awards, and ritual purposes. Instead of discarding the ruined metal, members of the Masonic community salvaged the silver and sent it to the Philadelphia Mint. There, it was recast and restruck into special coins or medals in the form of the 1864 Liberty half dollar, with inscriptions like Masonic Temple, Boston, destroyed by fire, April 6, 1864, restored in 1867, or from the ruins. And as you can see on this coin, on the reverse, it says, taken from the ruins of Masonic Temple. Pretty fascinating. What I didn't know is that the US Mint ever produced coins or metals that was supplied from silver from private individuals or organizations. But apparently this was the case, especially in the 18th and 19th century, under certain circumstances, usually by request or authorization. So in other words, these Masonic jewels were from a Boston Masonic Temple fire. The silver sent to the mint, and that was used to strike these. And then they were sent basically back to the Masons in Boston, and then they were further engraved by jewelers as well. These were privately ordered. Pretty wild. Now, this practice officially ended after the Coin Act of 1873, which ended free silver coinage. But before then, the U.S. Mint did accept private silver for general coinage. All right, so I did a little more research. And so the Masonic Temple in Boston was known as the Winthrop House. It was a 6-story structure that housed the Masonic Temple on its upper floors. And it was a Gothic-style building. And I'll show you a photo in a second. The building basically was a significant architectural and symbolic landmark for Boston Freemasonry. And the fire destroyed pretty much everything. The loss of this temple was a deep blow to Boston's Masonic community, but they rebuilt it quickly. And then a new Masonic temple was later constructed on Tremont Street. It was completed in 1867, and it's still in use today as the Grand Lodge of Masons in Massachusetts. And here's a picture of that. The temple that burned was more than just a meeting hall, as it symbolized fraternal unity, civic identity, and cultural influence. The commemorative coins struck from its melted treasures are very rare and quite sought after by Masonic and numismatic artifacts. In fact, this particular collector collects Masonic numismatics and exonumia, which I find fascinating. I never knew about these coins. I didn't even know that we struck coins out of silver under these circumstances. I thought all the silver coinage that we minted after 1793 was all owned by the federal government itself. So I think this is really quite an incredible piece of history, pretty much a remarkable coin. And now I'm going to be on the lookout for this because I'm just simply fascinated with the history. I've also talked to other collectors, in this case collectors of exonumia, which would be medallions and other non-coin related artifacts that are coin-like in appearance, I guess is the best way to call it, where metal is used from salvaged buildings or landmarks and produced into tokens and medals. Now these would be privately issued rather than minted by the US government like the Masonic jewel over here. And in some cases, people would reclaim metal from boats, like ships from the Navy or old buildings or historic bells, and would make special tokens out of the salvaged metal. That I was aware of, but I've never been aware of the Masonic jewels until very recently. In fact, one of the most popular salvaged tokens made came from metal salvaged from the Statue of Liberty when it was overhauled in the 20th century. Some of the old copper was reclaimed and used in special tokens and medals. In any event, like I said, you never know what's going to come across your table at a coin show as you're a dealer. And if you happen to enjoy coin collecting or silver stacking, I encourage everyone, go to a local coin show. Even if you're not interested in buying something, you're going to be able to see some phenomenal US history and possibly world history out on the tables. So definitely go to a coin show. There's a link down below where you can find a coin show in your location. Use resources like the ANA, which is money.org, that's the American Numismatic Association, to learn our history, and in particular, some of the fascinating things that we did with precious metals. Well, collectors, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're on the lookout for cool history as well when you collect coins or stack silver and gold. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and happy collecting.